in peanuts some time ago. I guess it's about 2 weeks ago. Now, I don't know whether that item is a censored item. I wouldn't know why. But they do x-ray some of the packages. Maybe they x-rayed it and found the thermometer and held it back. You might ask the post office to run a check on it. Whether that would be possible, I don't know. But I'll check here also at the post office and see if they can chase it down. It could have gone to MCB 40. Like I was mentioning on the phone, we do get a lot of their mail coming to B Company, MCB 4, when it's been plainly marked MCB 40. And sometimes we get MCB 5 and MCB 9. It depends on how sharp the eye is of the person who's sorting it. As I mentioned on our phone call, I did make third class, so I'm an engineering age draftsman, engineering age draftsman, third class. That's just another step up the ladder. That gives me a pay grade of E4, which is, I'm not sure what the base pay is, but it's about $40 increase in base pay, which I won't mind a bit. And I do get to wear chevron, which is a V-shaped device that you put on your collar, and then a V-shaped device with a crow on the hat. More distinct feel, I guess. Not either one way or the other, as far as I'm concerned. Of course, it's tradition that when you do make raids or advancement, you pass out cigars to everybody. So I bought a passel of cigars and passed them out as many as I could. I have a few left over. So I'll have to find out who I missed and give them a cigar. I enjoyed the photographs very much of the ball residents. I'm so glad that now that you got to go back inside the ball house. I would love, if you can, to get some photographs of the inside. I know from the drawings I made, it seemed to me it's going to be a nice big home and spacious, grandeur, and a beautiful place to have a party. The balls do a lot of parties. They social, non-drinkers. They strong Baptists, and they just have good old Baptist parties there, so that's good. And if you get a picture of the inside, it'd be nice. How far along are they? They got the paneling and the brick flooring in, or is it just now getting started on that? I went ahead and bought the camera I was talking about earlier, the Topcon RE Super. It cost $147 here. It's a real nice camera, and I know it will take some good pictures. One of the reasons I decided to go ahead and buy it before I go on R&R, then I can assure myself that I'm familiar with the camera and possibly get better pictures. To go over there with that, not being real sure I would know what I was doing with the camera, I might not get the best pictures. So I'm going to take a couple rows of black and white photographs and develop them here in the photo lab and see how they come out. And then I'll be taking some color slides and send them on to you. If you like, you mentioned that every time you get a roll of film, a movie film, it costs $5 to see it. I'll try to pick up a real cheap 8mm projector over here. I can get one for about $40, which will show both Super 8 and 8mm. It's made by Canon, who the same people made the movie camera. It's a small, but it'll be quite satisfactory, I think, for what we're going to use it for. Later on, I might be able to get a better 8mm. This one will probably be just as suitable. It takes the 7-inch reel, which is quite a bit of film. I am set up to go on R&R the 18th of April, which is exactly, 18th of May, excuse me, which is exactly 1 month from tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping that I'll be able to mail something from Tokyo to Steve for his graduation. And I don't know whether he's going to get it in time, but there's a possibility that it'll be there on time or just a little after graduation ceremonies. I have no idea yet what to buy. I've been racking my brain trying to decide what would be appropriate. Being he didn't send me any suggestions, I'm kind of at lost ends as to what to buy. But we'll find something of interest. When I do get to Tokyo, the first day I'm there, it'll take probably a day to set it up, but I'll set up a call to you. Probably I'll be calling on the 19th. I'm not sure of that, but I mean, just from what I've heard, it takes about a day to set up the arrangement to get a direct call through. And then we can talk and have a little more time and a better communications that way. There won't be the band fading in and out and all this static. I don't know whether you could hear the static on your end, but there was a lot of atmospheric static on this end last night. To tell you how rough war is, we got a street. They're putting in a blacktop street out in front of our shop. People don't have anything to do, so they're fixing up the camp. In fact, it seems like everybody doesn't have too much to do. They're just doing odd jobs trying to keep busy. Well, I run out of tape there before I realized it. But as I was saying, and people were just doing odd jobs. We've got several of the major projects up on the hill that are still going on. The bowling alley, the kid, and the swimming pool hasn't started yet. But A company, which is the equipment operators, they, I guess, are idle, so they're fixing up the roads here in the camp, smoothing them out, putting gravel, and fixing to put some blacktop on them. The big highway, not highway, but I mean one of the big streets in DaNang goes right outside the camp here. They blacktopped it, which cut down a lot of the dust. And when they finish the roads in the camp, it will be almost dust-free, except for a large wind or something to blow in some dust. Seems like the rainy season may be getting ready to start again, but it's not time for it. It rained last night and the day before. It messed around all day today. Nothing real heavy, but just mist. It doesn't take long for it to soak in over here. It's real sandy soil, and it can rain 5 inches in an hour and be gone. We're up high anyway, but the sandy soil, it doesn't get too muddy. It just soaks away. I never did catch why Steve and Sanford weren't there. I think you said that they had to study or something for an exam. Well, I understand. I'm glad they stayed to their studies, because I wouldn't want to interfere with their exam and the possibility of Stephen's getting out. I want him to make sure he makes a real good grade, and he knows that too. So we'll catch him on the next phone call. If not, I'll talk to him from Japan. That sounds impressive, doesn't it? I know one of the R&R spots that we're able to go to is Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And the chaplain one Sunday said that if for no other reason than going on R&R to Kuala Lumpur is for one Sunday when he gets back in the States, he can get up at the pulpit and say, well, when I was in Kuala Lumpur, and go on with his story. It adds a lot of charm, I suppose, to be able to say you've been to some place that no one has heard of. Today was my day for a soda run. I went out and bought, together with another clerk from Delta Company, 26 cases of soda water. It's been short here lately. Haven't been able to find even Coke or anything. They've had some Diet, which doesn't sell at all, and they'll keep a truckload of that stuff sitting around for 2 or 3 months before they finally give it away. So we finally was able to get some down to the Air Force Exchange in DaNang. And we went to 3 different exchanges before we finally got some. So they got Coke, root beer, orange, and I was looking for some 7-Up, but didn't find any. I guess by now you've probably received the cigarette lighters that I sent to Steve and Dad for their birthday, I guess you might say, and the money, Chinese money I sent to you, Mother, for pins or for something. It wouldn't make earrings, they're too big, but pins to go on a sweater or something for your birthday. Hit everybody in the same package there. There should have been a roll of film there also. I think that's what I put in the package. But a little goodie box full of things. I'll try to get another one all day. Some more collector's items that I pick up over here. Dad, Mother said on their last tape that she's been fixing an awful lot of iced tea, and you've been coming in from out in the shop, sweaty and hot, drinking a good iced tea. It sounds real good, but you need to slow down a little bit and let the men you got working for you do the job. And you sort of sit in the office there and expedite, enjoy that air conditioning. Occasionally drop in to make sure they're on the ball, but don't get out there and get too hot. There's no point in that. I know, because Mr. Thatcher keeps everybody busy around here sitting in the air conditioning shop. Air conditioning office. Everybody in the shop stays busy. We're right across the street from RMK. I don't really remember what the initials stand for, but they're an American firm which is over here of civilians working. They do a lot of construction work and things of this sort. They employ a lot of the nationalists, the Vietnamese. Yesterday I had a Gate 2 watch, which is out on the road between our camp and RMK. The Vietnamese come through there, and we check IDs to make sure they've got an ID. And it's quite interesting to see these people. They're all peasants, obviously, from the dress. They all wear the black or some variation of that. Some of the women wear beautiful veils over this black, and it really is quite attractive. But we check them for IDs, and some of the stories they come up with that when they don't have theirs, they left them at home or something. And to try to understand them, they have very broken English. There's one little boy that came up there that wasn't working, he was just bumming around, and has spent quite a bit of time in American-type schools learning English, and he's had very fluent English. I'm completely shocked. And I learned later from the guard that relieved me that he had planned to go to college in the next couple of years, and probably will make it, and that will be a step forward to have some students like this from Vietnam go to university and then come back to their people. That will be a step in itself. The last oatmeal cookies you sent, I enjoy them very much. Even you said I guess you said you were low on oatmeal. Well, they were good with the coconut, I'll tell you. That is a new taste to it. I think it looks like, let me tape and see how much I got left. Well, I guess I got a couple more sentences worth anyway. Tomorrow morning we have battalion quarters, and all the advancement and rates will be presented then, and we'll all line up in front, and the captain will come by and check and give us our certificate of promotion. All the grandeur, I guess, would probably be nice. I don't know. A lot of extra trouble, I guess. Admin received today a notice from Buford saying that the Seabees only have to make 2 deployments to Vietnam, and that they won't have to make a 3rd one, so that's a good note to know that this deployment and one more will be all I'll have to make over here. The next will be over to Europe or some other place. It's good to hear that your interior decorator is Burton Pell. I hope he does a real good job. He seems to be noted for doing a good job. I'm real anxious to see it when I come home. I got quite amused when I saw the photograph of Bootsy laying on the divan and too lazy to move to get comfortable. I just like the little mutt. This tape seems to be a little thinner than what I've been normally using, and it's hard to tell just how far I've got to go. It looks like I've got 10 feet or so, so maybe I can fill it up with something. Well, I suppose before I completely run down, I'd just ring off and try to make a tape for Steve and Clifford. They've sent me one, and I've only sent them the original tape that was on the little recorder. So I guess I'm a little behind with communications with them, although I have written a couple times. So before they get mad at me and discontinue making any tapes for me, I'd better send them another. And y'all good, and we'll be thinking about you. And send me a tape soon. Goodbye. Today is the 10th of May, and that means only 7 more days. Good, and we'll be thinking about you. And send me a tape soon. Goodbye. Today is the 10th of May, and that means only 7 more days and a wake-up, and I'll be on my way to Tokyo. That'll be a good day. I've been looking forward to it long enough. I just didn't realize it was that close until yesterday. I was looking at the calendar and realized it's less than, or just a little more than a week away. I received a tape from Steve and Sanford yesterday. I began to wonder whether or not they was even going to make one. But they finally came through. I guess they found the time to make one during this tornado scare. I was quite surprised to hear that they were having trouble with tornadoes. I do know that Huntsville is notorious for snow in the winter and rainstorms in the summertime. I had mentioned to them that I was going to, being that they won't be able to be home on the 18th or 19th, that I would call on the 21st, which is the day of his graduation. That will be Sunday. I will call, if I call at all, on Sunday, and I plan to call then, between 10 o'clock in the morning and 12 noon. If I don't call by 12 noon, you know I won't be calling on Sunday. So don't stick around waiting for me to call. Go ahead with the daily activities. But I should imagine with the having that much time to set up a call, there won't be any problem getting one through. And if I don't get through on Sunday, I'll try on Monday then. Then that way, Grandma and Grandpa Rio will be there and be able to talk to them also, that if they do come down. The last letter I received from them was Monday, and Grandma said that she was feeling better and her sugar was down low enough that she would be able to have the operation. I don't know by that if she means the operation before she comes down or after. Seems like not much has happened since I made the last tape, and even less has happened. I wrote Sunday, so this tape may not be full because I don't really have that much to say. I can't think of anything current. I did get back a roll of colored films. You may have already received them by now. I mailed them yesterday, my time. Print. The reason I went ahead and put them off and got them back here, I was real anxious to see how my camera responded and to get an idea of what to look forward to in taking pictures while on R&R. I'm real happy I did send them back because they did turn out real well. I was disappointed in the size of the print. Of course, it plainly states on the envelope that I mailed them in that they were 2.5 by 3.5, but no, I didn't realize that's what they were. Billfold size, I guess. So if you buy a big billfold now, you'll be able to put them all in your billfold. Convenient size. I may start having them all sent back over here first, particularly the prints, so that I can make comment on them and send them to you. And it will be a little more meaningful, I'm sure, to have a comment with them. You'll know what you're looking at. Give you a little more coherence, I guess, in the presentation of them. And it would also be able to give me a chance to write the information down on them before I forget a lot of the information about them, the circumstances leading up to the different particular pictures. I imagine the ones that I take in Tokyo, I will do that away because of the fast-moving time. I'll always be involved there that be a lot of incidences I want to record before I forget them. Last night when I was making the tape for Steve and Sanford, there was a guy out in the carpenter shop building a box, and there was a lot of hammering going on. It was disturbing, possibly, in their tape. But he's not out there tonight, so we won't be bothered tonight with him. I mentioned in the letter I wrote Sunday that I'd like for Mother to send a box of trash. This boy I was telling you about in the letter had got some that kind of spawned the idea. Got another box of it, and his mother sends it in. She sent it the first time in a big 5-gallon can that potato chips were in. Then she sent it the second time in cracker cans where salt, the saltine crackers come in. Might give you an idea of what to send it in. It was real good, but I think that yours is better, naturally. Don't make it too hot, but I do want it to be able to taste the Tabasco sauce. I got a letter Monday from Ruth Carpenter, and she was all excited about reading my letter that I wrote to Grandma and Grandpa, and was wanting me to sit right down and write her a letter. I'll get around to it someday, I guess, but I can't start writing everybody. I don't barely have enough time, it seems, to write to you and you all, and to Steve and Sanford and to Becky and a few other people, but it seems like when you start a lot of people, you get too repetitious. It becomes boring to me, but I guess other people enjoy it. I wrote Paul Manning a letter and sent him one of the little Chinese coins. I should be hearing from him someday. As an observation, I've been sleeping in my hut with my head against the wall, and we have the sides rolled up. There's canvas sides on it and rolled up, and there's screen wire around it. But there's a shower across the way from our hut, and at night sometimes they leave the lights on inside, and this was shining in my eyes. Well, I didn't think this was bothering me too much, but I decided when I had my headache Sunday that possibly that was part of the problem. I do remember several times of this waking me up during the night, but I just thought I wasn't sleeping good. So I changed ends in the bunk, and been finding I sleep much better. I don't wake up at all now at night, and I feel better when I get up. So maybe this little bit of a light in my eyes while I was asleep was bothering me, and I didn't really know it. Probably know how something like that would bother you while you're asleep. Steve and Sanford mentioned on their tape that Mr. and Mrs. Jones were in London, and I was telling them that when they get back, they'll be able to drop some names. I will be able to do that too when I get back. After all, I'll be going to Tokyo, and I've been to Vietnam and all this. It's interesting, I guess, to be able to do that, drop names, knowing how and when. Doesn't make it obnoxious. I was quite surprised to hear that the captain of MCB4 had dropped you a line notifying that I'd made a promotion. I guess that's nice, but I was quite surprised that that was a command policy. The captain did leave today to go to Saigon to make connections to go to Thailand. We have we support a CB team of, I think it's 8 or 9 men from the battalion that go to Thailand, and they're working there, sort of a cultural development team. Well, back to the CB team now. They go into these different areas. We have several in Vietnam, not necessarily from MCB4, but some other battalions. They go into undeveloped areas and assist the people in such basic things as planting, sanitation, things of this sort to help them out. He's going to go over there and visit some of our teams that we have in Thailand. There's another CB team that just formed up They will be going back to the States for training, and then they will be coming back to Vietnam. In about 4 to 5 months, they'll return. Anyone can do those things that want to volunteer, but I wasn't particularly interested. The little pictures that you're going to get, I guess I'll say thanks to the senior chief. He gave me about 6 or 7 rolls of coded color, which is the print of 35 millimeter. He managed them, should I say, or compshawed them from, or some friend gave them to him, some chief somewhere. And he doesn't have a 35 millimeter camera, so he gave them to me. So I'll be able to use those now and then when I want to take color prints. My flowers have been a flop. I may have mentioned that already, but I just dumped the whole shooting match into the garbage can yesterday. And I've planted some more seeds out of the same 2 packages outside in the dirt, just to see whether they'll live out there. I doubt it, but some of the seeds, I can't see throwing them away. So I'll give you a progress report on them. As easy as it is for the ground to sour over here, maybe that was the reason they weren't doing too good in the potted situation. In fact, the ground sours so much, I guess it's the ground that smells. Anyway, I get up sometimes in the morning, it's just a very pungent smell in the air. Moist smell. I guess it's the ground that during the night just stinks, because later on in the day it gets hot enough it clears up. I know it's not a chemical plant around here. Pasadena's not that close. I got another letter from you all yesterday, and enjoyed the clippings a great deal that you sent to me on Randy Matson. That guy is really doing himself some fantastic things. I hope he does real well in the 68 Olympics in Mexico City. I also enjoyed a great deal the clippings you sent from the Wharton newspaper. Looked like a real good coverage there. I had a little trouble recognizing the people in the picture, but I think I picked y'all out on the right-hand side of the picture. The program for the church, the new morning program, looks real nice. Looks like that's Wendell's rendering. His technique is really improving. It looks extra well here in this particular instance. I remember when we first started going to the church, the sanctuary was an enormous appearing thing. It looked like so much other stuff starting to build up around it. It's a rather small place. Well, it's 9 o'clock, and I can't seem to think of anything else in the way of news to say. So I guess I'll ring off and get this in the mail. And once again, remind you I will be calling on the 21st. If I can get through, it'll be between 10 a.m. and noon. So I'll be looking forward to talking to you then from Tokyo. So I'll probably make another tape between now and then, but you won't get it till after I'm already in Tokyo. So be good, and be talking to you later. Goodbye.